Lindsey Means is a human design expert and guide. She helps hairstylists feel better behind the chair, and we are today going to learn more about what human design is. We are also going to learn about how you, the hairdresser, can use it and hear stories about other people who Lindsey has worked with. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you want to get to know Lindsey first, go back and watch the previous episode. We got to know who she is, what her story was, and give you an idea of what is human design and why you might want to check it out. And welcome back to the Hairdresser Strong Show. I'm your host, Robert Hughes, and today I'm with Lindsey. How you doing today, Lindsey?
Amazing. I'm so excited to continue this conversation.
Me too. So high level for the anybody who didn't go back and watch the previous episode, give us a little like high level of like your story and in particular what is human design, because I feel like there was a lot of feel like I got a lot of really good information and pieces that I can put together to start to understand this.
Ooh, yeah. So I'm a former hairstylist of over 10 years. And when COVID happened, I was already kind of thinking about leaving behind the chair and becoming an educator. And I discovered human design. And I like to say it found me. And I put in my information and it pulled up my chart. And I said, "What the hell am I looking at? This is weird." It said, "You're a manifesting generator." And I was like, "Well, that sounds cool." And I started applying what little knowledge I learned and I started noticing transformation in my life. And so I became obsessed. And now I am fully retired from behind the chair and I help hairstylists and anyone with client based businesses. I help them really understand how to feel better and harness their energy. And human design is a modality to help you understand yourself on an energetic level and really understand how your body operates so that you can live in more alignment with who you are.
Okay, great. Awesome. And we talked a little bit in the previous episode about different modalities or tools that people currently use or may not use or may think, believe in, or not believe in. And so we're really going to give the audience an opportunity to kind of open up their minds and kind of peek behind this curtain of, because I feel like if some people who don't use anything within the realm of what we're talking about or are into it, they might really like they hear it's a tool, it's a modality to help you understand yourself. I really just kind of want to open that up a little more, so let's start with like, so there's a quiz you take. Is that kind of the first step to getting into human design?
Yeah, we can. What would be cool if you want to do this is as the listener, pause and go to the link in the show notes and get your chart. And all you need is your date of birth, your time of birth. If you don't know what time you were born, you can put 12 p.m. And where you were born, and then you click create chart and it'll pull it up. There's not even a quiz. You just put your birth details in, boom, you got your chart. And then we can get into, I can do a little snippet of a little intro into the 5 different types, and we can kind of go from there. But that way you can kind of experience human design instead of just listening to it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. So as you're looking at your chart, first of all, I like to tell everyone it's weird. There's weird terminology. It looks like hieroglyphics. There's a lot going on. But at the end of the day, there's only 3 things that you need to know about your human design. And that's what I love educating on. So the first thing is your type, which is your energetic aura. So there's 5 different types. And the first type I like to talk about is the manifester. The manifester is 8% of the population. And if you're a manifester, you're a trailblazer, you're a pioneer, you're here to bring new ideas and inspiration to earth. Some Lindsey Smith of Independent Beauty Pros, she's a manifester, and I'm pretty sure you've had her on here. And she like they're initiators. They're really here to initiate people, and they're not really necessarily designed to finish the work. They're starters. So having a team around you is really really powerful as a manifester, and you have a powerful aura. So back in the day, you would have been a king or a queen. When people meet you, they're like, "Oh, this person knows what they're talking about." Um, The next type that I like talking about are projectors, and they are 20% of the population. And they're leaders, they're visionaries, they're guides. They're really here to lead and guide the generator types, which I'll talk about next. And they are like a lighthouse. So they're designed to be a lighthouse and just shine bright and to be recognized for their zone of genius, to be recognized for their leadership capabilities. And it's really important for them to own their stuff, like really focus on your zone of genius, own it, and put it out there so people can recognize you. And then the next types are broken down into two categories. So this is 70% of the population. And this is really powerful information because 70% of your clientele are going to be generator types, 70% of your audience on social media, 70% of the people you're around. You go into a room, 70% of them are generator types. So first is the generator. And as a generator, you're 35% of the population, and you're the slow and steady builder. You're here for mastery. You're here for perfection. You're running the marathon race of life, going from point A to B, B to C, slowly building upon whatever it is that you're here to master. And with the manifesting generator is the second one. And that they're also 35% of the population. That's what I am. And we're the fast and efficient builders. So, generally, manifesting generators find the fastest, easiest, most efficient ways to do things. We work best in sprints. So, the generators are the slow and steady builders. We're sprinting and resting and sprinting and resting. And we are multi-passionate people. So we're behind the chair. For me, I could not, like, I did fashion colors for a season and then brunettes and then high impact blondes and then balayage. And I switched and I gave myself that permission before I even knew about human design. And then for generators and manifesting generators, it's so important to follow what lights you up. You have to be doing what lights you up. And when you do, you have all of the energy in the world to build and create and to do. And this would be behind the chair. It's like looking at your books and seeing all of your soulmate clients, like all of the services that you love doing and none of the services you don't love doing. I hated doing men's hair. I hated doing perms. I hated doing all of that stuff. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And so it's really, really powerful to only be doing services that are satisfying to you. And this is an interesting thing that we can talk about later. But as far as salon owners, like understanding your team's human design and knowing, okay, these people really don't like doing this service. How can we feed them services that they do like and give those services to the people who love them? And it's an interesting thing to think about having this tool as a salon owner. So the last type is the most rare, and they're reflectors. So as a reflector, you're only 1% of the population. And if you are a reflector listening to this, DM me. I would love to talk to you. As a reflector, you're a cosmic mirror. So you're constantly sampling your receiving energy and you're reflecting it back. And reflectors are really great in environments. They need to be around high vibe people. If they're sad, it means their environment is not good and the people around them are not for them. So reflectors really need to be clear on the type of people that they want to be around, especially in a salon environment. And they're lunar beings, they're magical, they're like unicorns. I love all of the reflectors that I've met. Although I haven't met very many hairstylist reflectors, so would love to chat with you if you want to learn more.
That's great. I feel like this definitely has helped me understand the power of human design. Because I have this affinity towards thinking about business and systems and efficiency and success and roadblocks to that success, and also varying measurements of success.
Mhm.
The whole thing about the salon owners and being an educator, or trying to basically interact with like groups of people, like understanding people's human design would be so powerful. What's interesting is I just learned about some one of these quiz things that you can use in a business to understand the people that work for you. And it sounds like the way you just kind of described everything, it sounds like a little bit like maybe more in depth than what I might find. I thought that I love this. Okay, so let's speak to like a group of people. First of all, how do you work with people? Tell us a little bit about the process. So like it this, lindseymeans.com and find your why and kind of learning about like what is your business and how does it work. Like tell us a little bit about like someone's like I'm in, I want to know, I want to do this human design thing. I'm gonna enter my chart and I'm gonna send it to you and kind of tell someone what they could expect.
Ooh, love it. Thank you. So there's a couple of ways that I love supporting people. I have an online course. It's called Start Living by Your Design, and that goes over the top 5 things that everyone needs to know about their design. Now, the cool part about this is first, you learn about yourself. That's imperative. Like you got to focus on yourself first and understand your design and your energy. But then you can start understanding the people around you through a different lens. This tool has helped my relationship with my mom, with my dad, with my sister, especially my mom. She's a projector. I'm a manifesting generator. And we would clash in so many areas. And then when I understood how she was designed, I could shift how I was interacting with her. And now it's harmonious. We have better, like the best relationship that we've ever had. And as a salon owner, as someone with a team, you can start learning about these 5 things about your team. So that's an easy way to start. And then I do work with people one on one in coaching sessions. So I like to think of them as a hybrid of you learn about human design, you get access to that course. So I like to dive deeper into your personal blueprint. And I like giving tangibles. Like this information is great, but you have to bring it into your body in order to actually see change. And so I like to give tangible, applicable tips on how to apply this to your life and especially areas that you're struggling with. My zones of genius are teaching people how to live by design, start doing inner work, and improving relationships. So, those are things that I love focusing on. And I like giving simple business tips, but more of a bird's eye view, not to the nitty gritty per se. And then I'm starting a mentorship, learning how to embody your human design. I've got a monthly membership where we go deep into human design, inner work, and healing. So that's what I'm really about. And when you change, your whole entire world changes, and it starts with turning that spotlight inward and getting to know more about yourself.
Okay, so it sounds like one-on-one time. Is there like group time as well, like where people come together? Or is it mostly you work on something and then you work one-on-one, or sorry, the person works on their stuff through your courses and then there's one-on-one time? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, so let me break it down easier. So there's courses that are standalone, you just do you with the courses. The membership, that's where more group work happens. So I do it's called Creating Alchemy, and in this monthly membership you get a group coaching call, and I coach people based on the through the lens of their human design. So I know every single member's design. And then there's education sessions and I bring guest experts in. And then if you want to dive deeper, so the top, I guess the most individual attention would be a one-on-one session.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And do you group people together based on their design, or do you group people together with different
Mm.
designs?
That's a good question. No, because we all want to be like, we're all working together. Like, there, in most groups, at least 70% of them are going to be generator types. And then I'm going to have a couple of projectors, a couple of manifestors. In my membership right now, it's about 50% generators and then 50% projectors at the moment. So it's very interesting to see when groups come together. And this year, I do want to start focusing on in-person workshops as well. So I like to teach the big three. So it's the only three things that you need to know about your design. And it's really cool when I've done this for a couple of salons, and it's really cool because it's like, ooh, you're a manifesting generator. I'm a manifesting generator. Oh, you're a projector. I'm a projector. Like it's a cool way to look at the people around you in a different way and to start understanding, oh, that's why you do that. That's why you're different. Like you already know people are different from you, but when you see it through this lens, it just kind of like clicks. And it's really cool to see groups looking at each other through the lens of human design.
That's awesome. Yeah, we could I'm always interested in like working with people. I manage a salon, and it's actually a co-working space. So like
Ooh.
we share space and take clients, but we want all of our guests experience to have some sort of consistency throughout. So really it takes us getting knowing each other enough to know how to work with some each other. Like when someone say leaving a mess somewhere where they should have cleaned it up, and that impacts the next guest's experience, how do we approach you to and let you know? Some people are just like, they can't stand any time that somebody is critiquing them or telling them they
Mhm.
broke a rule, or if somebody's not getting along, or but also how to talk to people and reward them for their good work. So anything that would help me kind of dig into that and be good at that is something that I find interesting. And I think anybody, and correct me if I'm wrong, but anybody out there that's running a team or wants to build a team or manages a team, sounds like this would be super valuable for them to have, not just for themselves, but also to really understand their team.
Oh
With
my God, yeah.
yeah,
100%. And especially so the types, which I just broke down, that and I do want to address this. A lot of people, I have people come up and say, "Can your human design change?" Because I'm a generator, but I really resonated with the manifester. And I say, "No, your design will never change." And it's just like sun signs. Like I'm a Leo, but I resonate with Sagittarius because they're both similar. So if you saw yourself in multiple categories than what is listed on your chart, just know that the type is just a teeny tiny tip of the iceberg. And as far as a team viewpoint, the strategy and the authority, those are the two things that are so empowering to know about your team, because the strategy is how they put their body into cruise control, and then their authority is how they make decisions. So for me, the way that I make decisions is essentially I have 100% energy for it or it's no. And I need people to give me yes or no questions in order to know what's right for me. And then there are some people who have an emotional authority, which means they need time to make a decision. And when I was doing more, like I was doing 3-month coaching containers, so longer containers that were more of an investment, I would have my potential clients when I was on a sales call. If they were an emotional authority, I would literally tell them, you are not allowed to buy this coaching package for at least 24 to 48 hours because I want you to lean into your body to know what's right for you. And when you can empower your team to live by design, oh my God, it's just such a beautiful thing. And then it kind of takes you empower them to know how to make decisions based on their body. And so I would assume that would alleviate some stress from you, because then okay, this is how they make decisions based on their body. And this is how I can help them harness their energy more effectively. And it just creates more flow and more ease within your life and business.
nice, cool. That sounds great. And so, as we kind of near the end of this conversation, what I'm curious to know, is there like a general area that you find yourself working on more with people than others by any chance? I'm always curious to know, like if you listen to me interview salon owners and ask them, how did you open your salon? The every story is different, but there are common threads throughout all of those stories, and that's kind of the point of having multiple conversations, to show like there are some things that everybody should do,
Mhm.
like find a location that makes sense based on your clientele. Like that is something that is like pretty universal in opening up a salon. Anyway, is there anything like that? Any kind of common threads or similarities that you've noticed as you work with people by any chance?
Yeah, I would say I feel like I give people permission to be them, to show up as fully authentically them. And I was actually at a networking event of there's over 300 women there, and they were asking questions like, what are you afraid of? What's holding you back? What is preventing you from taking the leap in whatever you're doing? Almost every single woman said, I'm afraid to be me. I'm afraid to be me because I'm afraid to be judged. I'm afraid to be me because I'm afraid of whatever. And so for I work with so many different types of people, and from salon owners to commission stylists to independent to not even people in the hair industry. And that's the common thread, is that they leave feeling empowered to show up as fully authentically them. And I'm a big fan of letting your freak flag fly. Like, you're not for everyone. And when you understand who you are energetically, you become empowered, just like me. Like, I don't know if I said it in this episode or the last one, but I've thought I was a weirdo my whole entire freaking life. And human design's like, yeah, girl, you're a weirdo. That's a big part of my design, is being weird. And there's so many other people that are weird. And I'm 37 years old, and I finally accepted that I can just be me. And since I've done that, my last year, the last couple of years that I've been fully living by design, I have experienced more abundance and magic and just connections, and just like living a satisfied life that I know that I'm meant to live. So that's kind of the common thread, is just, you already know, like, I'm not telling you anything new. Like, I'm just telling you about yourself through a new empowering lens. And I think that is the thing that really impacts a lot of people.
Nice, cool, awesome. Well, I feel very confident that there are a lot of people that just heard you, and in a way that they're thinking about what how can this impact my life. So tell us, anybody who's listening right now or watching this, if they're like, yes, I want to dive in, what should they do?
Connect with me on Instagram. That's where I hang out the most. DM me a copy of your chart, and I'll give you some insight. I'll give you some, generally what I do is I love sending voice messages. So I'll send you a couple voice messages about your energy, and then we can go from there, and I can help direct you. I can either send you to some of my stuff. I've got a bunch of resources, so we can start from there. But I love conversation. So have a conversation with me.
Okay, awesome. Cool. All right. Well, you can look, if you're listening or watching, just check out the link in the description below, and there'll be all the information you need to get in contact with Lindsey and find out what your human design is. And yeah, anything that you would like to add to kind of sign off with?
Just be you.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm definitely gonna check this out personally, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Well, take care.